So busy shuttling back and forth. How do you manage your time to make sure you have enough time for the family?
Oh, it's not easy.
I can imagine.
A lot of calendars. Wearing a watch. That helps.
Tell me about some of the highlights of your career. What would you say are some of your best highlights of the year so far?
Of my career so far? Okay, we're talking 37
I know, too much. Maybe I should say the year. The past year.
The past year, I think it was getting to travel with El Divo was a chunk of my year, and also getting to work on The Voice. The cool thing, though, is that now I'm a spokesperson for Philips Stein, which is really, really cool, because I've been a fan of their watches for a while.
Yeah.
For a while, even before they asked me to be a part of their team.
I'm on stage, whether it's
so
family, and now
as part of the El Divo tour, I got to travel to Zurich. I got to travel to Switzerland. And in Zurich, that's kind of the home of Will and Rena Stein, who created the brand. So it was a thrill getting to meet them and getting to learn about their philosophy, getting to learn how Philips Stein got its name in the first place. It's not somebody's grandfather. It was actually the name they originally chose for their son. But then they ended up naming him Benjamin. And so they named their other baby Philip.
Ah, okay.
So I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
You're also the ambassador of the UN FAO.
Yes.
You've done a lot of work with them. Tell me about some of your experiences doing that.
I only got to really work with them for, I think, a year. I went to Rome. That was when the nominations happened. And I was nominated alongside Celine Dion and Susan Sarandon and Raul Bova, who's a really famous actor from Italy. And Angun, who had been named an ambassador, I think, previously. She was one of the featured performers. I got to meet her, so that was a thrill. And I got to sing. And it was just a real trip to... It just felt flattering, because I think they named people who I think they felt had enough of a voice of influence to be able to say, okay, this is what I stand this is what I stand for and believe.
Another issue you've been very outspoken about too is the reproductive health bill, which also I think is...
Oh yeah, it's gotten me in a little bit of hot water with certain people, but you have to stand for what you believe. I think people zero in on the whole contraception part of it.
Yeah.
The thing is, reproductive health is an all-encompassing thing. It's not just about contraception. And you have to pick the method that jives with your personal and religious and spiritual beliefs. So for me, contraception is something that you should figure out. A husband and a wife need to have this conversation. If you aren't communicating, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with your marriage. And when I was 16, the whole recording with Menudo was part of the Foundation for Adolescent Development in association with the Johns Hopkins University School of Public Health. It was already a sexual awareness campaign for responsible adolescent sexual behavior.
Yeah. What do you hope to inspire in Filipinos, bringing what you do, your art, to your advocacies? What do you hope the Filipinos get from that?
Oh boy, I need to think. I'm hoping that I'm not only known for my singing voice, but that's a good entry into what the rest of me is about. And yes, I'm a strong supporter for reproductive health and have been for a long time. I can serve breast cancer. Yeah. So I think more of I tend to align with issues that really directly affect women. And hopefully I'm remembered not just for getting up on stage in a pretty dress and singing.
What is your advice to anyone who has a dream?
Well, everybody has a dream, and my advice is to figure out what that dream is. Everybody is built to spec for something. It's figuring out what you're built to spec for. That's the difficult part. But once you've figured that out, it seems like everything clicks into place.
You were named the world-class Filipina recently. You are really, everyone talks about the world-class Filipina, and people sometimes the Philippines is so focused on this. What makes one a world-class Filipino? What does it take, really?
I think it is, to say that something is world-class, I think it's when you do what you do at a very high standard that can be really looked at from anybody in the world and be respected. And I think what makes anybody world-class is always striving and achieving a very, very high level of whatever it is that you do.
Right. So what is world class? Look at Lea Salonga. Lea, you've done everything. You had all your great roles. You have a dream project, or dream role. I know you always wanted to do Evita.
Yeah,
that
was kind of a brass ring for a while. And I'm now 44 years old. I don't know if that necessarily needs to be that brass ring, because then I've gotten to play all of these other roles. I've gotten to originate some really great stuff. And I'm heading to New York City in the fall to originate another role. So maybe my job is to originate things that other people can strive to hopefully do someday.
What makes you happy? When are you happiest? What is it?
I think I'm happiest when I'm on a stage performing. Whether it's in a musical theater show or in a concert, I'm happiest when I sing.
Yeah.
That's really it. And that's what I'm built to spec to do.
Yeah.
That's that. And anything associated with that, it makes me happy.
And because you're happy, it makes us all happy. Thank you so much, Lea.
Thanks
for being on the show.
On my own, pretending he's beside me, all alone, I walk with him till morning. Without him, I feel his arms around me, and when I lose my way, I close my eyes, and he has found me.
This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.